Well, hello. We have some breaking news. I'm due to go live. I've gone live early. I actually tried to send out a link, an email to the OGGM to invite him on the show because I would really appreciate some of his commentary on some of this breaking news that I'm about to break. Apparently we have details of the sale on the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum, but more than that, apparently there was a document found by the owner of the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum that was supposedly typed by Gary Gygax on Gary Gygax's typewriter that changes history, but we'll get to that. So I'm just giving. I posted this for 12 noon. I'm like 2 minutes early. And we are going live with breaking news. Now, here's the thing. Somebody named John Doe, middle name of Anonymous. Welcome, Wizard Tower. You're going to find this interesting, my friend. Somebody named John Anonymous Doe called me. And was like, hey, I just got off the phone with the realtor. Would you like some inside information? Yeah. Are fish wet? Is the sky blue? I mean, the Pope Catholic? Do I like pizza? The answer is yes. So yes, absolutely. I would like inside information. So I wrote some notes here. So I'm looking at the time. 12 noon. We're good to go. 12 noon. And so this individual called me to relay their phone conversation with the realtor. So the realtor is a legit realtor, and the $5 million asking price is hard and fast. The owner is adamant, $5 million, hard and fast price. No negotiation. And that $5 million the property comes with the desk, Gary Gygax's desk, Gary Gygax's typewriter, the artifacts. The person then asked, well, could we, would I be able to get a list of, the artifacts that are coming with the museum? And the realtor said, yes, but you have to sign an NDA. Here we go with the NDAs again. So then they asked, well, would I be able to go and see the place? Yes, but you have to sign an NDA, and you can't bring a camera. You can't bring any recording equipment. So I then suggested to them, yes, $5 million, hard and fast price, Joe Bing. Throw the comment up there. See, 345, 520. So they are not letting anyone into they are pending the sale. They're not letting anyone in there, which then makes that other post just recently on the Dungeon Hobby Shop page there about the Spellfire Club just odd. Like founding chapter of the Spellfire Club. They just founded something called the Spellfire Club at the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum, but they've closed it pending the sale. Makes no sense. So the now here's the thing. There was discussion with the realtor about the price. The person said, "Oh, I could see that it just sold in 2020 for less than 200,000." And the realtor said, "Yes, that is true, but you can't really put a price on all the history and artifacts that are within the place." So, yeah, he has a real thing for NDAs. I think his wife's middle initials might be NDA. Maybe he really has something for NDAs. Let it go to bankruptcy. You can get it from the government cheaper at auction. Agreed. Joe Bing, that's what I was thinking. So the discussion on the price, this person said, listen, myself and my backers, we can come out and give $4 million. we can come out there and put down $4 million tomorrow. And she said, nope, he's hard and fast. He's got to have $5 million. He knows what he has. So it's then you're going to love this. Then she said, now be very careful. The owner is public record. His name is Justin Lanassa, but don't Google Justin Lanassa, because there's another Justin Lanassa who's been involved in a lot of court cases down in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's not the same person. Sorry, I shouldn't pound the desk. It's not the same person. It is the same person, you doofus. So then the issue, yeah, I'm joking, I know. It's not me. It's not me. You know, it's like the guy caught, you know, it was like Puss in Boots when they find the catnip on him and he does the, that's not mine. It's not me. So, yeah, David, again, I'm laughing. Yeah, absolutely. It's fraud. It's fraud. Sorry, I need to wipe the coffee. It just shot out my nose off my face. I know. That's why I put all drinks far from me for this. Hello, Thiatis. I am not sure how to pronounce your last name. Ashadara Wesh. I'm probably murdering it, and I apologize. So we just found out, Thiatis, that the $5 million price tag on the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum is hard and fast. The owner knows what he has. You can't put a price on the historical artifacts within. And that he warned the realtor to warn people not to Google Justin Lanassa, because there's another Justin Lanassa who's involved in all these court cases, and it's not the same guy. So that's number one, Justin Lanassa from another multiverse. Yeah, from another multiverse, from a pocket dimension. That pocket where he plays pocket pool, maybe. Well, that's not the big news. That's not the truly big news, guys. So this anonymous tipster then brought up the statement that was written by Justin Lanassa, that it's on the realtor site there, about Brian Bloom being the co-creator of Dungeons and Dragons. And she said, yeah, I know, but they found in the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum, a document was found typed on the very typewriter, Gygax's typewriter, because the entire time this place was a flop house, slumlord's flop house. Gary's typewriter sat there, and the desk sat there, and the document just sat, nobody ever touched or moved them. And so they found a document purportedly typed by Gary Gygax on his typewriter. I said, is it signed? Because we know he has a thing for signing other people's names to NDAs. Thank you, Wizard Tower Games, for paying for a handwriting expert to examine that NDA and prove that. In the end of the day, he can ask anything he wants. The issue is there. Here right now, there is a court case, and he's being countersued. So would the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum not be a potential asset involved now? Yeah, because the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum is being countersued, and is a plaintiff in the libel case. So Eric Stina, even though he's not countersued, when he wins the SLAP lawsuit, will be able to then go after, jointly and severally, all of the plaintiffs in his case. Those plaintiffs are Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum and Justin Lanassa. So he'll be able to put liens on all their properties. And since Justin has just valued this at $5 million, I would definitely put a lien on it. Apparently, he thinks it's valuable. Now, this letter that I've been telling you about, this letter mysteriously discovered just recently. Apparently, Gary Gygax wrote this letter to inform people in the future, in the Back to the Future time, that Dave Arneson did not co-create Dungeons and Dragons with him. Brian Bloom did. Let me just restate that. This letter, found by parties unknown within the Dungeon Hobby Shop, and we know that Justin was just out there in Lake Geneva this past weekend. We've had reports of that. So that must have been when it was found, because we've never heard word boo about this document until now. But now they are doing a new narrative that it's Brian Bloom is the co-creator, not Dave Arneson. And we suspect this might be linked to the Arneson estate refusing to donate any Dave Arneson artifacts to the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum, because the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum is a for-profit museum solely owned by Justin Lanassa. So it's probably a little bit of spite. Let me just catch up with some, yes, keep their license, looks that up. So definitely an asset. Yes, Wizard Tower, right. That's BS. It's well documented that Arneson's a co-creator. That is flat out false, but disgusting and shameful to the memory of Arneson that he contributed to. So I'm wondering, Griff Morgan, please, Griff Morgan, hello, you out there? If you've unblocked me, I would be interested in your comment as a representative of the Arneson estate. Justin is backing the bus up over your boy, Dave Arneson, and the estate, and trying to cut them out of Dungeons and Dragons history. Griff, do you have any opinion about that? We all know. Oh, so I spelled Bloom wrong in my show notes. The Bloom letter is a fake by now. Must have been from the other multiverse. Yeah. In all my time with Justin, he never ever said anything about that document, and if he had, he would have bragged about it. Yeah. This kind of thing he would have bragged about. I didn't realize Griff was on good terms with Lanassa. Yes, he is. In fact, Griff Morgan bragged to me that Justin Lanassa was giving him a copy of the one of the 10 copies of the Star Frontiers New Genesis rules to check out. I says, well, how'd you get him to do that? He goes, I asked him. They have been tight. In fact, I believe there's somebody in chat who can actually attest to that they've been very tight. In fact, it's like saying Lincoln was never president and was never shot. Is anyone really going to believe Justin's letter versus 50 years of statements by Gygax and Arneson? No, nobody's going to believe that, but he's trying to inflate the value of this sale by saying the letter comes, the typewriter, the desk. And how do we, I'm just curious, how do we really know that is actually really Gygax's typewriter? I mean, was it found in the building? Because this was a flop house run by a slumlord when Justin bought it. So how can we be sure? And are we sure that's the same desk that was in Gygax's office, or just was it a random desk in the building? You know, that so maybe it was a desk that Gary Gygax leaned on at one time. How do we really know for sure? I would like to see some documentation on that these artifacts are true. I would like a handwriting expert to look at the signature. I would like to hear I would love to hear a comment from Ernie on this. So Joe Bang, Star Frontiers that uses D20 system that they all hate. Yes, every Star Frontiers fan worth any kind of pinch of salt hates this idea. Anybody who's a fan today, who's an active fan today, I would say 95, 97, 99% of them are all committed to the original D100 system. It's part and parcel to that game. So the toilet is worth the most. You could actually do something with that toilet, like bring your dice, bring your bad rolling dice and flush them down the toilet Gary sat on. You could make that a thing. Lanassa doesn't have Gary's decks. Frank Menser has it. Ooh, interesting. That's really interesting. That is something I'd like to follow up on, Bob. Do you have any more details that Gary's desk, Frank Menser has it? Because that, so I'm guessing they just found a random desk and he went, ooh, it's Gary's desk. So yeah. Well, no, this idea is for whoever ends up with it after it's auctioned off by the bankruptcy team. So he's had it for years. Oh, this is really something interesting to follow up on. He had it in his house, and we rolled our dice on it at his pre-Gary Con parties. Absolutely fascinating. Pretty certain the typewriter went with Gary. Checked with Luke about the estate. Yeah, we know he's faked things before, like faked NDA, not signed by Don Samora, but claiming to have been a NDA that he signed, and the date on it does, Don's actually pulled records from the phone company to show where his phone was located. So that was one of the things he was trying to ask at the bankruptcy hearing was, where were we when we signed that? Where was I? Just, hey, if I signed it and you're some witness, who's that witness? We can't read that witness signature. So we know he's faked things before. We know that NDA is absolutely as phony baloney as a $3 bill. And so it's not surprising that there would be other fakery going on. There's a plaque on it and everything. We can confirm with Ernie and any number of other people who went to Frank's parties. Interesting. So we have some lines of following up. There's like a little brass plaque attached to it. Cool. 100% fact. Yes. Even typewriters have a system that can be verified like handwriting. Yeah, actually, if you've watched enough CSI, there was a hand typed, typed written letter, and they compared a notes that had been, known exemplar that had been typed on that typewriter to the note used in the crime, and were able to prove, no, that was the typewriter that typed that note. So that is actually very, very true and very, very verifiable. And I'm sure Luke would help us out with an exemplar document that we know was typed on Gary's typewriter, for sure. Dave Bledsoe, given Lanassa's intellect, the letter is printed in Times New Roman. Now, see, I asked about this. I said, how do we really know? And the realtor said to my anonymous tipster that it was typed on TSR letterhead. That's how we know it's authentic. Now, I'm actually seeing TSR letterhead for sale, blank letterhead for sale on eBay sometime in the past year and a half. Was looking at eBay auctions. I saw some TSR letterhead up for sale. I remember this. I remember thinking, wow, blank letterhead. That's cool. Seeing as how that was just auctioned off. Yeah, I know I saw that. TSR letterhead. Somebody auctioned it off. I wonder who bought it. So almost any old TSR person or Paul Strongberg would have an original doc. There we go. So there's plenty of people we can go to for exemplar documents to compare against this typewriter. Sold on eBay past couple of months, more for sale right now. And it was sold by the guy. Yeah, I know I saw stuff. Thanks, Bob. You are a wealth of information today. There's blank letterhead up right now. So it's out there. It's easily accessible. It doesn't prove anything. And Dawn, do you still got those handwriting experts on speed dial? Because I think I would, before I invested 5 million, and I wouldn't, not on something that's entangled in court cases and could have liens on it as a result of those court cases. That's just stupid. But the Yepers, an answer to my question on the handwriting expert. So this guy's out there. He does cost some money, but I mean, certainly if you were investing 5 million, it'd be worth it to pay, $5K, $7K to a handwriting expert to validate, a signature. So if Gary's signature was on there, we should be able to get that validated. But this is a document, mysteriously just discovered document in the hands of somebody we already know forged names before, based off information in the Watsy case and based off the fact that Don Samora paid a handwriting expert to examine his signature on that NDA, and the guy said it's not yours, and it's most likely Justin Lanassa's. So we already know that he has a propensity for faking signatures. So quite possibly the letter has a signature. I put no value to it. But the now one more kicker of information. So the my anonymous source was trying to he tried to shake things loose with the realtor. He says, "Listen, my investors and I we have 4 million to offer right here and now." And she said, "Well, you should go back to the investors and see if you can't come up with another million, because the people that did the D&D movie are invested." And I was just on the phone with them yesterday. And so he then said, "What? I know." He said, "What? The people did the D&D movie?" And so he asked a few questions, and it was Watsy that was on, and she was on the phone with their real estate division. And he said, was there somebody named Lauren? Lauren Rainwater is the name of the lawyer in charge of the Watsy case. And then he named the first name of the assistant to Miss Rainwater. And the realtor said, "Yeah, they had a Lauren on the phone with them when they were talking to me." So the Watsy lawyers are all over this already as of yesterday. Yeah, bullshit you do, Richard. I can't believe I said that with a straight face. I don't believe you said it with a straight face either. But the Watsy lawyers are all over the sale of the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum, because it is one of the few assets. It's essentially the only asset that the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum has, and it's a plaintiff and counterclaim defendant in the Washington case, and it is a plaintiff in the New York State case. So, there could be a motion coming down the pike from the Watsy lawyers real soon on this sale before it finalizes. So, Joe Bing, there are laws against selling fraudulent items. So it has so many times in sports. Yeah. The fraudsters are out there, and they'll get away with it if they can. But there is recourse in the law courts for fraudulent sales. And very true. Yes. So the Watsy, here's the thing. Hard and fast price. He absolutely is adamant. He's got to have $5 million. And I mean, if somebody was on the hook saying we got 4 mil, you'd think he would jump on it, because 4 mil could really pay off lawyers' fees. He, could really go towards his legal fees. But it makes you wonder, what is it that's going on? What's he worried about? He's got to have 5. So that's my concern here, is that nobody's going to buy this. Nobody's paying $5 million. And why would Watsy buy it for $5 million when they can just get it for pennies on the dollar in the bankruptcy? And that's a distinct possibility. Or when they could just put a lien on it and settle for taking it, put a lien on the building, and settle with him taking the whole building for, again, pennies on the dollar. All right, we'll settle with you. We're going to take this, and this, and put these, onuses on you. So they have no need to actually buy it, and they were only calling to get information out of the realtor, and it was the lawyer was on the phone with them, taking notes, clearly taking notes. So you have a fake document now being purported. You're having fake artifacts. Now the door is not fake. The door is legit, because we've seen photographs of people signing that door. The only signature on there that's probably worthless is Justin Lanassa's, since he signed his name like he was TSR royalty. But you can remove that with some acetone. You could remove that easily. People have been saying, I take a belt sander to it. I wouldn't want to ruin the patina of the door, but we could chemically remove that permanent marker from the door. So there certainly are ways. Just ask a teacher. They know how to remove permanent marker. So yeah, there's fake artifacts. The door is real. The toilet probably is legit. As somebody who worked in the plumbing trade, I could go take a look at it and go, yeah, that's an old toilet. That toilet's been there a long time. About the only thing that gets changed on toilets is, the seat, and then the guts inside the flushing mechanism, until you get tired of how low that old toilet is. And then you say, you know what? We want one of those with the big 18-inch bowl and sits higher. And, I installed one in this house, and then everybody was like, you got to change all the toilets. And so all the toilets in the house are now the higher. They sit higher, got the bigger, more elongated bowl. You're more comfortable. It's a nice, comfortable seat. And they've got the flush, the flush on this side for just urine, and for solid on the other. So you could just look at the toilet and go, yeah, that's an oldie. You just look at it. Anybody who's worked in the building trades really could just look at it and go, yeah, that's an oldie. So the toilet probably is legit, something that Gary maybe parked his butt on, or peed in or whatever. Why we're excited about that, I don't know. The door is legit, but the desk, I highly doubt. Typewriter, I highly doubt. And the document is certainly, phony baloney. So let me just scroll back up. You got, I think somewhere in here, that $5 million, so he can bounce out of the country. Where's he going to go? I think exactly, Joe. I was going to say the same thing, that he's going to bounce with or without his wife and kid. Will he be taking his tank with him? Didn't think that. Doesn't have cojones. And don't question Justin's cojones. He's very sensitive. If you make fun of him or imply he's got a small, cod piece, he's very sensitive about him. So, don't make fun of Justin's cojones. Okay. Because very sensitive. You're going to upset him. you'll probably get an anonymous email. So those things should be pulled out. Yes, I didn't read this. Those things should be pulled out of there. Any mystery fire. I kind of want to like park a private detective on the street and like get notification that there's a U-Haul removing things from the place. And, that's certainly, and, then call the fire department. Hey, this building's about to be torched. You should know. That's part of my concern. OGGM. I invited OGGM to be here. I said because I was rushing to get this up to give his input. And so he just responded to my email. I don't think he's going to make it because he's like, was that 12 noon your time or my time? And I'm like, yeah, you ain't making it, buddy. But I wanted his input on the Lanassa letter. And so let me just type 12 noon mine and send. So where are we here? Pulled and replaced with photocopied fakes. Yeah, there you go. Lanassa's signature dropped the value on the door. Yep, we can chemically remove that. Absolutely. Windex may also work. May, but recently. Oh, here we go. Hello, OGGM.
Hello, Tom. My God.
I've got it.
Finally.
I got to kill. Put you back on speakers here. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Great. So, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I was hoping you could make it earlier because I had breaking news on the Dungeon Hobby Shop that let's go with the big one. Just found in the building is a document purportedly typed by Gary Gygax on Gary Gygax's typewriter that said that Arneson was not involved as a co-creator of Dungeons and Dragons, that it was Brian Bloom.
Okay. I'm sure that would be pretty easy to disprove. I mean, let's not even account the amount of research Griff has done for, the secrets of Blackmore, Yeah. I think all you would have to do is just, check Lanassa's typewriter / printer history and go, yeah, you did this yesterday, dude.
Yeah. Well, he's also claiming in the sale of the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum that it comes with the door that's been signed, comes with the desk that was Gygax's desk. It comes with the typewriter that was Gygax's typewriter. However, Bob Brinkman's been in the show and he's been informing me that Frank Menser has the desk and there's a plaque on it that says this was Gary Gygax's desk.
Well, that's a great thing about our country is, you can claim anything. He can claim he has it. It's just, can he prove it?
Well, that's the thing is that this place was purportedly like a flop house for a slumlord when he bought it. So you mean to tell me this type document hung around in that flop house all this time? And the desk has been hanging around and everybody was like, ooh, Gary Gygax.
I can't touch this desk. Yeah. Even some guy named Gygax sat here.
Yeah.
Who's going to know? What average Joe is going to know that, Gary maybe sat at this desk, Unless you specifically told them, even what gamer would know. If I walked in and just saw a desk, I wouldn't instinctively know, Gygax sat there. You'd have to tell me.
Well,
then you'd have to prove it.
Who's the manufacturer? Were they in operation back then?
Yeah.
Is it period?
Do you have a picture of him sitting at this desk?
Yeah, that would be good. And maybe Ernie commenting, Luke commenting on it would help prove it. So depending on the varnish, yeah. So yeah, I was actually saying that we could actually chemically remove Lanassa's signature from that door.
Yeah.
It would be very possible. We don't even need to belt sand it, and hopefully we wouldn't ruin the patina. Dry erase.
How much does he want for it? $5 million?
$5 million, hard and fast.
And none of the Gygax have jumped on that. The Bro SR, Scott Garrity.
I don't know why Luke hasn't. He's the bag man for WotC. I mean, he's supposedly keeping all of us, probably even you, on the payroll to report against, to attack Lanassa.
Luke's paying me? I didn't know that. Luke, pay me.
I still haven't seen my paycheck.
Literally live in the same area code.
So I'm like, yo,
His
dude.
house is over there. I'm pointing in the general direction of Calabasas.
So I actually sent him an IM, and I was like, dude, where's my money? And he laughed back at me. So I was going to say that. Yeah, the dry erase marker trick. That's the one that teachers have, where you do the dry erase over the permanent marker. And then supposedly you can, except I've never done it. I've never used permanent marker on any of my my vinyl mats or any of my laminated playing pieces. I've just not done it. And, they're like, because I'm still going to use a dry erase marker to remove it after the fact. So why don't I just use dry erase? And there can't be any problems.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I've just never done, the dry erase trick. But I heard about it, and I knew teachers had this thing that they do. So Gary's toilet in my office. Was it just the general toilet? So it might be worth more, because Larry Elmore might have, graced that
of all the luminaries that pooped on this toilet.
Sutherland and Elmore and Easley. So, then maybe they journaled, hey, in 1978 I had the runs and I spent the day on that toilet. It gets more and more ludicrous. And then the final piece from my anonymous tipster was that they managed to suss out when the realtor said, well, you better you better move quick, because the D&D people that did the D&D movie are interested. No, and well, actually, WotC did call, and because this person, I know the people at WotC, and was it Lauren, or and then he put the first name of Lauren Rainwater, the lawyer for the WotC team, so assistant out there. And the realtor then said, yeah, I was on the phone with their real estate team, and there was a Lauren on the phone with them. So the WotC lawyers are all over this, and clearly this is fraudulent. Now, if you wanted to go and tour the place, maybe you're considering dropping the $5 million. I don't know.
No. I'm waiting for Gary to jump on that first.
Well, if you did want to tour the place, you're going to have to sign an NDA, and you're not allowed to bring a camera inside.
That sounds like the time I went to see the Fiji Mermaid.
Yeah.
NDA, and you can't take a camera. Okay.
I've seen a replica of the Fiji Mermaid. It's hysterical. We have a replica of the Fiji Mermaid, and it was used as a movie prop, and it's here in Portland, Maine, at the Cryptozoology Museum. Believe it or not. But so that's the weird Maine connection to that. But so
hypothetically, if he actually could con somebody, doesn't that money directly just go to the bankruptcy? I mean, he doesn't actually get to hold any of it.
Well, he is the listed owner, public record, and he warned the realtor to tell people not to Google his name, because there's another Justin Lanassa who's involved in a lot of legal cases, and it's not the same person.
It's not me. Isn't this a picture of you in the courthouse? Nope.
So, it's the same person. We all know that, and it's hysterical. But the problem is TSR is no longer part of any of the court cases. They have been withdrawn from the court cases. So the plaintiffs and the counterclaim defendants in the WotC case are Justin and the Dungeon Hobby Shop as an LLC. And then both of them are the plaintiffs in the New York State libel case. Eric Tenkar never countersued them. And that actually positioned them some weird way in the law, gave them some advantage. And so, that's the way that case is going. But these, both of these entities jointly and severally can be gone after for any judgments. And so when Eric gets 50 to 100,000 or whatever his, 200,000, I don't know where his legal fees are at, judgment for the SLAPP lawsuit, he can go against either one, jointly and severally. That's how the law works.
Yeah, cool.
And WotC can do the same. And now Justin has evaluated this building at $5 million. They're definitely going after this. They're definitely going after this. So it's, I think he shot himself in the foot with this whole charade of $5 million.
Really? Let Justin shoot himself in the foot? Justin's his own worst enemy. I mean, that's just the classic narcissism.
Well, the whole Far Side comic of the guy smashing himself with the hammer, comes to mind. Certainly comes to mind. It's but you've got this document now where he's backing the bus up over Griff Morgan.
So he was peeling back the walls, and there was like a secret safe or something. I mean, how did this go unnoticed for so long?
Yeah, it's a good question. I do know.
I mean, the place has been remodeled at least once, and
and
multiple feet have gone through there over the years.
So I'd like to know, where was it found and how can you authenticate it? And, but I think we also have to ask the Gygax estate for that typewriter. Where's Gary's typewriter now? Who has it? And let's just get an exemplar of Gary's typing that was on that typewriter and compare it to this typed note.
Oh, the signature is typed or handwritten? It was
typed. And those old typewriters, you can, there's imperfections in them.
Yes, they're the individuals. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a fingerprint. So, I'm just floored. I'm just absolutely floored by the fact that he wants to revise history and cut Arneson out. The Arneson estate refused to share any artifacts with him. So this is just spite on them. And, it's so fraudulent. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
That's, in his favor, that's the great thing about the court system is you can try. Check. I mean, the Red Bull person who sued Red Bull and won, the person who sued New York claiming they owned New York. You can take anybody to court for anything as long as you can find a lawyer desperate enough to run the case.
Justin has a few of those, I think. It's his clown shoes lawyer in New York is certainly one of them. That guy has not read the judge's instructions and has been repeatedly reproved for not following directions. So those lawyers are out there.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I just that's all the news I have is just the breaking news on the Brian Bloom. Apparently,
for inviting me. I'm sorry I didn't see it. I didn't see the post.
I got the news and then I was like, in 20 minutes I'm going live, 12 noon, because I actually we're 1:45 now my time. I'm gonna have to run out of the house and go take care of a job.
All right. Well, thanks for inviting me, Tom. And hey, you freaking Marks! How come you haven't subscribed to his channel yet? Why doesn't he have 1,000?
Who's?
Come on, you, all of you, all these names up here. Subscribe to this guy's channel. Look at this guy. Look at this face right here. Give this guy 1,000 subs. Come on, he deserves it. He works way harder than I do.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Is that you have people that you look up to, and I look up to your channel, and I love how snarky and sassafras and sarcastic you can get.
Oh, thanks, man.
And it's just not in me to be that sarcastic, but I'm like, that's what I aspire to.
It's all a character. It's all a character I choose to play.
Well, thank you for coming on, even though it was late.
Me, Tom.
And thanks everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all coming here. That's the news on Justin Lanassa and the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum, and it's apparently revisionist history.
Thank you all for being part of this, and we'll see y'all on Tom and my channel soon. Till then,
keep on
getting. Bye. Thanks for